See, being independent, deriving the freedom that you need, buying what you intend buying, living the life that you love, is a dream of every mankind. And most often, we are faced with situations that will deter us from getting what we want. It is either as a result of us concentrating in one field, say for instance, only depending to have an office job. But over the time, you've realized that you have to change that mindset to move on with certain drive. But to a point, you've realized the direction you should go, which is you intend being an entrepreneur that will start his or her own business. But starting this business is yet a problem to you because you actually don't know how to start a business. In this video, I am going to teach you how to start a business effective and efficiently. And in starting a business, there are a few steps you have to observe that will enable you to have a successful business setting. One is you conduct a personal evaluation on yourself. Knowing yourself is key to the success of every individual's life. Know yourself and work in a job that caters to your strength. You know, we all have strength. This knowledge will make you happier. Begin by taking steps of yourself and your situation, because a man knows himself best. You have to know who really you are in order to take a venture of going into a business. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? You already know that, which I've already highlighted in our previous video. So you need to know yourself. Like Mohamed Safar, I have passion in entrepreneurship, and this is the character I have. This is what I develop. This is what I know I can do, and I will derive the results I want. By doing that, you are on a path of moving the right direction. In knowing yourself, there are a few questions you need to ask. Why actually do I want to start a business? That is one question you should ask yourself. Why do you want to start a business? And then the two is it money that you want, or you want freedom? Or is it because of flexibility, going to job and the money is too boring, it makes you lack your freedom? Is it because of that? Or to solve a problem, or some other reasons? What industries do you know you can perform best? Do you want to provide a service or products? What do you like to do? How much capital do you have? And how much do you have to put at risk? Because the business venture itself is a risk. Will it be a full-time or a part-time venture? You ask all these questions. Answers to these types of questions will help you narrow your focus. Those steps in asking questions and all that thing are not trying to dissuade you from doing business. Rather, it enables you to think and plan yourself well. In order to start a successful business, like I said, passion alone isn't enough. Though it is key, but it is not enough for all of it. You need to plan, as per our previous video, set your goals, and above all, know yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? How will these affect the day-to-day operation of your intended business? You could conduct a SWOT analysis on yourself to figure this out. After the evaluation of yourself, you now go to the second step, which is you analyze your industries. The more you know about your industry, the more protection and advantage you will have. That is clear. Once you've decided on a business that fits your goals and lifestyle, evaluate your idea. And evaluating your ideas, you have to ask few questions again. Who will buy your products or services that you're going to render? Who will your competitors be? At this stage, you will need to find out how much money you will need to start a business. That is your capital. Your personal evaluation was as much as a reality check on yourself, as a prompt to get you thinking. The same things apply when it comes to you researching your business and the industry you want to trade in. There are a number of ways you can do this, including performing general goal research. Evaluate the business in itself as to how it will yield you a profit. Evaluate your capital as to how your capital match that particular business you want to do, the type of industries you want to do. You research the key people that may want your products, from your industry, and you read in relevant books relating to that particular industry. You do a whole lot of research on the product, on the industries you want to trade in. If you don't have time to perform the research, you're going to miss the point. And that is the more reason why some of us have failed in our businesses. Once we see A, B, C doing the same business, we just put ourselves, we are not looking at their struggles. We just look at the profit they're deriving at that particular moment. And then we intend establishing similar business. Whilst the business is being established, we now realize the actual truth behind that business. The struggles, the pain that one has done before us looking at his successes now, which is the profit he's making. So you have to make a decision, a whole time of yourself, to do a research on the type of business you want to do. How does that business fit you? What is your strength that you will bring to the market that is new, that will influence your customer drive? All that you have to look at in the analysis of the industry you want to trade in. Now you've evaluated yourself. You've researched the industry you want to trade in. The three things you should do is you evaluate your target audience. You validate your business idea by creating a pitch page. What actually that means? To determine how attractive your prospective market is. All right? By that, I suggest you doing the following. That is market analysis. You do your market analysis. Go to the market, do some research, come back to your own market, and then later you go to your market. It will guide your research as you think about how urgently do people need the thing you want to sell or offering right now. What is the demand level for it? What's the market size in it? In that research, you have to look at it, and this is done through your target audience. Are there already a lot of people paying for products or services similar to that of your product you intend doing? Have you honed in on who exactly your target market is? You have a whole lot of questions around you that you need to answer, and those answers will guide you to narrow down your focus and be the man that you want to be in that of your newly established business. And how that goes is by you being specific. You see, you being specific will help you focus your market message and investments. So research in all drive is the key foundation to starting a business. because the first three steps that we've discussed is around research. And the first step gives you the opportunity to set up your business. And what entails this setup? Realistically, registering your business is the first step towards making it real. It makes it legally binding. However, as with the personal evaluation steps you've done within yourself, take your time to get to know the pros and cons of the different business entities. If at all possible means, work with an attorney, because it is a legal aspect of it. It gives you the legality. You work with the legal people to actually know what entails the entities you want to trade in. You will also need to get the proper business license. So what are we saying here? That registration is key, and that you have to derive a legal backing that will advise you on what direction they go, what are the possible requirements, and the establishment of that business you intend doing. And then what next to it is that you should also realize that there is a related license to that of the business you want to do, and hence you have to have a proper business license and permit. Depending on the business, there may be cities like we have here in our city, Freetown. We have the city councils. I think I mentioned that in our previous video, that are responsible for various licenses and permits. We have different institutions that are responsible for different licenses and permits. So you ensure that you know them all and then go through them to get your required license. Licenses, or in the registration of your business, you have to highlight you've already done a research on yourself, which is the evaluation. You've determined the type of direction you want to go. That is the industry research. Now you've got your business name. You've got the intention of that type of business you want to do. Is it going to be sole proprietorship? Is it going to be partnership? Is it a corporation? Is it a limited liability company, which is LLC? You spend some time getting to know the pros and cons of each business formation. That also requires some knowledge in the operations of the various businesses I have highlighted. Partnership, sole proprietorship, limited liability companies, and all that. You have to have the knowledge of the pros and cons of that particular formation. If you need to have a legal-minded somebody that will help you, or a business consultant that will help you or that will guide you to the successful fulfillment of all these processes and procedure, it is okay. But mind you, the legal entity responsible for licenses and permits are there, and you need to research on them to know actually who is responsible for the sector you want to operate. But remember, corporation, which is a limited liability company, can be expensive. It can be expensive to establish. It's well worth some money, and only high income earner, people who've got money, can challenge this type of venture. For a small business, for someone trying to establish a small business, it is not actually advisable to start a limited liability company. Once you've done that, you go to the fifth step, that is starting the business planning process. You start the business planning process. As planning is key to the success of every business. And once you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So what that means, our goals can only be reached through the vehicle of a plan, in which we must fervently believe. If we don't believe in what we are planning, the strategic direction we are going, it is pathetic, and we don't need to take a venture. So we need to believe in ourselves, because we've already evaluated who actually we are. and upon which we must vigorously act. That is the plan. It is the guidelines, the step, the direction that we should go. Once you've established a plan, you've set up a plan, a guidelines that will give you the direction, you follow that direction. Don't be pulled down by any force. If your plans call for outside financing, it should be clearly stated and the guide towards that finance utilization. That is what you have to also do. You also have to consider if you are going to borrow money from the banks, from a friend, family friend, or from another company, all that you have to set up a plan towards that. And it is that plan that you will that will surround the operation of your proposed business. What I'm trying to say here is that in the simplest term, the business plan is the roadmap of your business. Some things you will or will use to help you chart out ways to improve on the business that you intend establishing. So rather than you thinking of a business plan as a hefty document that you will have, it is just a small document that will guide you, that will manage the direction you should go. And then once you've established your plan, you look at your source of income for the establishment of that business. You now have number 6, which is have a plan for funding. Depending on the size and goal of your venture, you may need to seek financing from an investors. You can do it. You've got your plan. Your plan can serve as an evidence of the intention you have in doing your business. So that can be used as a means of sourcing finance for your business. You see, most small businesses begin with loan from banks. It is either financing from credit card, which is not available in our domain, or help from friends and family, and so on. So you have that as part of your plan. Is it investment and lending option? Is it venture capital? You look at all that because it is that finance that will uphold your plan. So you have to have a plan for your funding, for your proposed business venture to succeed. And then once you got that finance, you have number 7. You set up your space of business where actually you want to do your business. You see, your business plan has been laid out. The money is in the bank. And you are all ready to go now. If your business is an online business, well, that is not common yet in our country. We're trying to grab with it. And you won't need a storefront. That is a big advantage of an online business. You don't need to have a store, which is another cost in our country presently. Once you want to start a business, the cost of going in for a space like shop is very expensive. So once you have that, you have laid up that, what the next thing you should do is to look out for your setup space. And that is very key. You are probably not looking for a building. That is in terms of online business. You just develop your websites and blah, blah, blah. And then there you go. But for us, you have to go and look for the shop you want to do your business in. Buy your office space, buy the equipment, and develop a very beautiful environment that you want to trade in. So what that means is another cost, and that cost must have been part of your planning process. And these plans, like I said, are your guides.